Hello again. We are back interviewing our award winners for IAIA 24. And I really am delighted and honored to have a chance to introduce the recipient of our individual award. Now, this is for really outstanding achievement over really a very long period of time. And I'm delighted to be joined by Dr. and Professor Claudia Valls, who has really spent all of your dedicated career to do with environmental law development, writing about it, the link with environmental practice, impact assessment, has always been interested and deeply involved, initially in Argentina, Latin America, but an awful lot of other consequences and influence that she's had outside of that. So I was very interested to read the write-ups recommending your work, and I'm really delighted to get the chance to sort of have a brief conversation. So you've had this long career sort of at this intersection of environmental law. You've also done a lot of environmental impact assessment and practice. What does that sort of link given you? What has that experience given you?
Oh, yes. First of all, thank you, Gary Baker, as a CEO, to have time stay with me. Thank you, IAIA, to find I'm a representative of environmental law and environmental impact assessment as a woman, as Argentinian, as a Latin American. I was very happy of that. And about what you asked me, I want to tell something, but I think it's very important that it's legal fair framework. It's always present and latent in all this process. First of all, how about legal aspects and practice aspects? As a lawyer, you have to know first if you can do or you cannot do an environmental impact assessment. If it's legal or illegal, a lawyer must be first, and it must not be substituted for anybody, because you have to know if you can or you cannot do it. But I used to work in environmental impact assessment from all the sides. I was evaluated environmental impact assessment from the Minister of Environment in Argentina, principally mining projects. And also I have been working in making the studies of environmental impact assessment. And I always know in advance what is going to happen of the other sides, because I have been involved in many of the positions in this. It's like Messi in the football games, that he plays in several positions, and he knows how can be the role of the other participants. I think that is very important. I'm not like Messi, but I have different roles. It's what I do is to try to transfer my experience to be in several parts. When I teach at the university, when I prepare inspectors, I used to prepare federal judges to federal justice, and I used to prepare them, and I have been this environmental impact assessment so many times, and I know what obstacles you find and how you solve it. And that gives you only the experience. You have to match the experience of many years working in this subject with the force of young people to push to go. But you can say where to go because you have made this
the experience
thing. times. I say 100 times. Oh, yes, 100 times.
But what, all right. So I can see that you've had this unique experience, but what are some of the biggest challenges that you've faced? On which side do they really come from?
The challenge, I can tell you some experiences. For example, I used to work in the rural area in between Malaysia and Thailand, and we tried to unify or to have one position about environmental impact assessment and what to include in the prospect, and it was very difficult because you cannot unify criteria about what to have involved, because it must be local. The criteria. We were a lot of countries trying to define what is environmental impact assessment, what is making social impact assessment, and we have Muslims, rural people, small projects manages with very hard and good work for female empower and sustainable successful projects, but the result was it must be local decisions, transversal and local decisions. We fight with everybody because everybody wants to decide which are the which are the things that we can
the prioritization.
I had a unique position. It must be local. You must be there. You must go and decide inside what is the best decision.
It's interesting. I mean, clearly you've got, as well as that experience, tremendous passion. I mean, that comes through so strongly. Where do you get your energy from? Let's say if you had to point, is it teaching? Is it the academic work, developing the law, the application of it? Where do you get most of your energy and enjoyment?
Oh, where I put more energy. What's the question?
It's where you get it and where you what is the aspect that you really enjoy most from what you do?
I work in both sides with the same. Since I remember, I did like 35 years ago, and I work in environmental law since before I have my lawyer degree, and I put all my energy in both. What teaching? Well, when I started teaching since 35 years ago, people doesn't know what is environmental law and what is environmental impact assessment. Now people have more compromise and know how about you're talking about. Not something new. 30 years ago, it's ecological. Now people knows what is happening, and I try every day while I'm teaching environmental law and environmental impact assessment, that I teach especially environmental impact assessment separately of environmental law. I try to promote and to give to students force and energy and to believe and to fight, because young people has a lot of trust, but one hand, but by the other hand, they see the environment is each day worse. It's my work to tell them you must do it. It's not for the future now. It's for today. We say in the future, in the future we are going to stay worse. In the present we are worse, and people has energy, but also they say, well, working in these 30 years we don't do the right things. We must act now. I think we must act, not to read more papers and think what we have to do. We have to do something concrete. Few things, but concrete.
So what one final question. So given that journey that you've gone on over the last 30 years, where do you see that balance in Argentina, in Latin America, in terms of awareness of environment and actual action that you're talking about? Is that happening, or are you more optimistic or more pessimistic?
I must to be optimistic, but in law we have enough laws to protect the environment. The legislation in Latin America and Argentina, it's very different situations, very different. I want to advise about that. Are very different countries with very different situations and legislation. You say America, it's like, say, Germany and Peru, for example. It's nothing to do between...
There's no commonality,
yes, but we have superabundance of legislation in Latin America, also in Argentina, and there is something new that we have to put focus, that is the Escazú agreement, that it empower people to fight for the environment. I think now, after signing 2 years ago, Escazú agreement that Argentina is part, we have more skills, more instruments to fight, to defend the people that works for the environment. But I pretend stop to kill people after the sign of Escazú environment. They kill the people who define the environment. Very important advance in law to be part in Latin America and the Caribbean of the Escazú agreement.
Brilliant. Well, look, Claudia, thank you very much for saying a few words, introducing yourself. I'm sure a lot of people have learned a lot about Latin America, Argentina, and most of all about the passion that you bring to it. So you are a very, very deserved winner of our individual award. I'm delighted that we've recognized you, and I wish you very well in your ongoing work, and I hope we can continue this conversation.
Thank you very much. It was amazing, and I will continue with us new talking. We will see you in Dublin next month. I'm very happy of this award and to have this meeting with you.
Thank you again.
Thank you, Gary.